folks, today I'm coming to you with our newest kitten. His name is Archie, and he really feels like he needs to, be part of this for the moment. And play with the camera. Go play with your brother. Alright, so, welcome back, folks. Today we're going to do, I'm going to call this a Cookbook Corner, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I want to talk about a little bit about preserving the past and how we can use that in the present, and also, move some of these things forward into the future. And what I'm talking about is things like this. Okay? This is a filofax. And this was, hold on, go play someplace else. He's very pesty this morning. This was actually gifted to me by my friend Marianne. Her and her husband run an estate sale company. And we've become really good friends with them, and you really need to go away. Go. Sorry, he's very difficult this morning. She knows that I love old cookbooks, so she's always on the lookout for me, keeping an eye out. But they had come across this in a house that they were clearing out, and the people that were helping them were going to just throw it away. And she's like, no, I know the person that will like this. And so she gave it to me. Hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So she gave it to me, and I have gotten many similar things at estate sales over the years. Many of you who've been with me for a long time know that I love estate sales. We go pretty much, I would say almost every weekend to an estate sale, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So, I'll find old recipe card boxes. I have found some handmade recipe card boxes, things like this where it's like a big filofax. I found several of they're like a plastic holder that has a set of recipe cards in it. Like it was I think it was either Betty Crocker or Better Homes and Gardens. I can't remember which one. And then it had the people's individual recipes tucked in between there. So I found this type of thing in many different orientations. So what I want to talk about today is encouraging you guys to find these type of things, whether it be in your family, whether it be at an estate sale, whether it be at a garage sale or yard sale or thrift store, because sometimes you will find these in a thrift store. But finding these kind of things and embracing them for what they are. This is somebody's history. This is something that some woman or some man, because sometimes the man in the family was the cook, something that somebody spent their life collecting. So there's all kinds of things you're going to find in these. And sometimes it's going to be recipes that were long lost recipes or family favorites. Sometimes it's going to be something you've never seen or heard of before because it's a recipe that has fallen out of fashion or was never became popular. Sometimes you're going to find stuff that you'd never in a million years make. Like aspic, which is like a gelatin that has meat and or vegetables in it, holds zero appeal for me whatsoever. But it was very popular at one point in time. So sometimes you come across stuff like that. One of the things that I found in this one, let me see if I can pull it out of here real quick. Easier said than done, obviously. Well, maybe not. As I was going through here, let's see if I can pull this out. Well, maybe I'm on the wrong side. Oh yeah, I might be on the wrong side. Please bear with me. This one, well, there was an envelope in here. Ah, here we go. Okay, so there was an envelope in here. This is, I'm not going to show you because it has people's information on it. It's an older envelope. And it was post-stamped January 1974. And it was a letter between a nun in Illinois sent to a friend of hers in Ohio, which I'm assuming was the woman who put this together. But this was their correspondence on how to make formula for babies in 1974. I mean, these are the kind of random things that you find in here. So, you know, I'm going to just pull out like one section. So, like, this is one section of this filofax. Okay, and it's just, I mean, all random bits of paper. Some are on recipe cards, some are printed from a computer, some are things taken out of magazines. So we're gonna just kind of poke through this one together. So this is a party cheese ball. Okay, so this one she actually has handwritten out on a recipe card, which is a lost art. My friend Kristen is a huge fan of handwritten recipes. If you haven't seen my friend Kristen, she's over at Gehm Time. I'll put a link to her channel in an iCard and down below. She has a great vlog channel, and she does some cooking on there and all different kinds of stuff, but she loves handwritten recipes. So there's that. Then a turbo parmesan. So this is a fish recipe. And this was obviously came out of something because it's pre-printed, but it's like a pre-printed recipe card. Let's go here. This one's folded up. Okay, so this one looks like it was typed out on a typewriter. So it's got champagne punch and cranberry hearts, which cranberry hearts are: mix cranberry juice and water, pour into individual heart-shaped gelatin molds, place in freezer for several hours until frozen. Unmold. Oh, so it's making little cranberry juice ice cubes, basically, to put into the champagne punch. I mean, these are things you just don't see anymore. Here's a photocopy of, okay, this is something I've seen many, many, many times over. It's called Friendship Cake, or 30-day cake. And this is one where you start it and then you give parts of it to your friends. They grow it, they give it to their friends. This used to be tremendously popular. Let's see. Here's something she got out of a little she clipped out of a newspaper. Gourmet tidbits. A half a cup of prepared Italian salad dressing with a dash of Worcestershire and a sprinkling of onion powder makes an excellent marinade and turns an inexpensive cut of steak into a tender, succulent one. Allow the steak to stand for several hours in this mixture in the fridge, turning it occasionally. See, she thought that was worthy of clipping out. Here's a printed one, Mom's Apple Crisp, and on the other side, mini ham puffs. Here's somebody actually, this is interesting. Somebody typed this out on a piece of paper, right? Then they cut it out and then they stapled it in the four corners onto a recipe card. I mean, this is creativity at its best. Jumbo Raisin Drop Cookies. Here's something she copied out of a magazine, it looks like. Philly 3-step caramel pecan cheesecake. Here's one she printed off on a computer. Apple cake in a jar. And see, that's the kind of the thing. Okay, so you take this one, apple cake in a jar, printed off of a computer. It's dated 6/18/03. Okay, versus something like this one, Yum Yum Brownies. Okay, this is handwritten on a piece of paper that, like, you can just feel the age of the paper. And this was somebody's stationery. See how it's got, like, little birds, like little ducks up here in the corner? So this came out of some friend of hers' stationery who wrote down the recipe for her, and she kept it all those years. I mean, that's the really cool thing here. Pecan squares, this obviously came out of, you know how you get the envelope with all of the things stuck in it? This is one of those. Apple cake, again, typed out and stapled to a card. Butterscotch pie, a handwritten recipe. Another computer recipe, my sister Maria's easy apple cake and ice cream. Wesson oil pie. Okay, 2 cups of flour, half a cup of oil, quarter cup of water, cold water, salt. Measure oil, then water, mix in with flour, roll in between worked paper. Okay, so this must be... This is actually a recipe for a pie crust, is my guess. Oil, water, salt, flour. And then, yeah, it says 425 degrees, between 8 and 12 minutes for a single. So yeah, this is to make a pie crust, which I have never made with oil. Interesting. Another handwritten recipe. Jenny's blackberry pie. Here is a recipe, a handwritten recipe for frosting. Here is a typed recipe on the back. It's typed out on the back of like a memo pad. So somebody ripped this off of a memo pad, fed it into a typewriter, and typed out a recipe on here. 1 large can of crushed pineapple with the juice. 1 large can of cherry pie filling. 1 box of dry yellow cake mix. 2 sticks of margarine. She says she melts hers. 1 cup of chopped nuts. Bake in a 9x13 pan for 1 hour. Now that actually sounds interesting, and I've never heard of that before. So that might be one to try. Let's see. Easy as pie crush. It's another handwritten recipe card. Jiffy cake dessert. This is handwritten out on a sheet of paper. Let's see. Cheesecake, handwritten out on a cute little watermelon recipe card. Dana's frosting. This is again on a super old piece of paper. Turtle cakes. Corn cass. 1 can of corn. This one I'd have to really focus on for a while to figure out what it says. I mean, the writing is difficult. I really don't know. I'm thinking it's some kind of a cornbread. But, see, this is the fun of it. Is trying to figure this stuff out. Barbecue beans, handwritten recipe. Okay, here's Dirt Cake. And this is a handwritten sheet of paper taped to a card. So, like, it looks like she got more information through time on how to put it together. Here's typed out on a card, fresh corn and vegetable casserole. Here is another one that would take some time. I mean, look at all of the writing on here. I mean, I'd have to go through this like word by word to try and figure out exactly what this is. Potato pancakes, written on what looks like a memo pad that came from a drug company. I mean, just nifedipine, which has been around forever. Crazy, random stuff. Um, corn chess, no, corn. I think this is the same one as the one before. So maybe together I can figure out what that is. What do we got here? Spanakopita, copied from somebody else's handwritten recipe. Something she pulled out of somewhere. Baked potato wedges. Bean casserole. Another handwritten recipe, Rachel's Rise. Susie's Chili Hot. What else we got? Spinach lasagna. The file name on it is Slazanya. I love this stuff. I mean, it just cracks me up. This one was typed out or printed out. This actually looks like it was printed on an old dot matrix computer. Reuben dip. Onions. Mock stroganoff. Cheese soup. Typed out on a card. Sensational broccoli crunch. Handwritten. So, I mean, honestly, I haven't even gone through half of that stack, and that's one section of this filofax. So, I mean, I could be here for a very long time going through this with you folks. But really, the essence of what I wanted to say in this video, aside from sharing some of these with you, is treasure this stuff. If you've got, you know, grandparents or great-grandparents or your mom or an aunt or a cousin or a friend, you know, that you know has this kind of thing, talk to them about it. See if they're willing to share some of it with you. Let them know that, you know, heaven forbid, if the time comes that you would be interested in something like that. A lot of people never pass these things along because they don't think anybody's interested in it. And a lot of people aren't interested in it. But what I'm advising or trying to get across today is that these things have value. There's stories in it, there's history in it, there's passion in it, there's family in it. So I just think it's an awesome and fun thing to do. I hope you guys go on the hunt for these things. If you have these things already, comment below, tell me your story of where you got yours from. If you have ideas of how to save these things, because that's one of the things that I struggle with is I have a lot of these things. What's the best way to preserve them? You know, I've thought about doing it in like photo albums. You know, my friend Kristen saves recipes in like sheet protectors, in binders. But yet, I like the original containers that they come in. Like, I really struggle back and forth of what's the best way to preserve things. So, if you have ideas on that, comment on those below. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Come back and see us soon. And as always, I hope you had a great day.